All right, let's gather back up. As you're able, Rhonda was making a joke that wasn't really a joke about the next pilgrimage. If you'd like to come. I mean, it was in a joking manner. But we would love to have you join us at the end of February or at the end of next July over in Rwanda. It is an absolute gift to be there. And I love the things that were shared because they really got to the heart of this. These are real relationships, ongoing relationships, depth of relationship that's been built over 2 decades now, together, walking together with one another. There is the reality that IAC as a church, right, was planted by the Anglican Church in Rwanda. We would not exist without the Anglican Church in Rwanda. But our existence would be poorer without the ongoing relationship and the ongoing formation that we receive from you all. Amen. So thank you for welcoming us in your home. And welcome to your second home here at IAC.
Thank you.
I would love to hear, one of the things we want to talk about, well, a couple things about Bishop Emmanuel, just as by way of introduction. You've been bishop now for how many years?
15.
15.
Yes.
Getting old.
Mm-hmm.
15 years. So much has happened during that time, but we've been together on the journey. Kabali has been our sister church for about 20 years now. And so not quite all that time, but for much of that time. And it's been a joy to journey together, and I feel like over the years, seeing the relationship deepen has been a joy. One of the things that we've started to recognize more, and Aaron commented on this when he came back from the last pilgrimage specifically, is your joy. And I think that's something like in an American context, you know, with the language and trying to navigate those things, that those kinds of personality traits sometimes don't come across in the same way. But your joy in your people, in your family, and in our relationship is just something that we love to receive, and that we really appreciate you for.
Thank you.
And so I'm really thankful for that. I wanted to ask about your story, how you came to faith, and specifically how you were called to ministry, because that's not part of the story we often get to hear. But let's start with, how can we be praying for you, our friends, in Rwanda? We know a little bit about the church closures, right? Some people know more than others, but how can we be praying for you guys, your family right now, and for the broader church family?
Thank you, church. I'm delighted to be here, and thank God for this opportunity to meet. And I thank all of you to have sacrificed your time to come. Yes, you've been sharing your stories, but also I got this opportunity also to hear and to get the floor to share also what is mine. Thank you. First of all, maybe I would ask you or request you if there is anything I will say and you think it is not understood.
Yes.
You are, or anybody else,
I'll be accent translator.
Yes.
I'll be accent translator. I can't be a Rwandan translator.
Yes.
I'm not that good, but I'll be accent translator.
We do the same. In Rwanda, we used to have a missionary. She was a lady. Some may know her. She's called Meg Giribo. Mm-hmm. She learned Kinyarwanda, but she could make some mistakes, and even some content mistakes.
Some content mistakes.
Yes, and it could really make a catastrophe. Because, so I just wanted to mention that because of the accent and my background of English. So thank you very much for now. My family is doing well. If I start from there, thank you for those who came. You blessed our baby. As you know, after 8 years, I lost my first wife. God told me to wait until He would give me a green light. And when God gave a green light, It was just in a short notice. Maybe I will come back on that during my testimony, but I would finish it from here. Because it was a short notice, within a short time, God told me in a dream and in prayers that I should be ready to be remarried. And
You shouldn't be afraid to be married? Should be ready to be married. Yeah. You guys translate for me.
So, and it happened because in a short time I found a lady, and this lady, God told me it's the one, and we got married. She's over 40, and I'm almost 60. So when we got married, we were thinking not to have children because we had enough. I have my biological children and adopted, and then she had her children, so we thought it's enough, the children we have.
How many children did you already have?
No?
No, how many children did you have that you brought into the marriage? Her children and your biological and adopted children. How many total?
Total? That's okay. 26.
26.
Yes, 26. Yeah. So we thought it enough, but God told us He will surprise us. And in fact, because even my wife had started the family planning, but God says, even if you go through that system, I will show you who I am. Finally, we got a baby, and we thank God, and it's a boy, and he's doing very well. He's called Gael.
Gael?
Yes.
Okay.
And the Kinyarwanda name is from Psalm 23, the verse 1. The Lord is my shepherd. That's now the translation of Kinyarwanda or family name. That's it. So the family is doing well, the other children are doing well, and then the church, as you heard, now it's now 15 months. The churches are closed. In the whole country, it's from 2018 when the government thought churches should go in the same line of the development of the country. And they required some conditions for the church to be improved. We tried that. The churches were opened, but 24, it was something else. So they brought in many instructions, and we are still going through that. And the whole country, it's across the country, it's all kind of churches, religions, all over the country, where according to the statistics, they say more than 90,000 church buildings were closed. In the Byumba diocese, we had 373 churches, and among those, 353 are closed.
So there's 373 churches in your diocese, your network of churches, and 353 remain closed.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, only 20 are opened, and among the 20, Chibari Church Parish is opened. Now, when you look the physical situation of Chibari Parish, you cannot even think it could even be allowed to stay stand. The other churches of the same situation were told to be put down, so to destroy. But why Chibari survived? It's because of your prayers. I think they did not look at the church itself, the building of the church. I think they looked at the clinic, they looked at the playground, they looked at the children assisted in schools, they looked at those widows and other vulnerable people received roofs. They looked at many things that which made Kibali Church to survive. And we thank you because this was the way, and now Kibali is accommodating other parishes. And those who have been there, the Kibali itself has 2 services, and then afternoon they accommodate, they receive people from other parishes.
So they're using the building throughout the day
Yes.
for other people to walk in.
Yes.
Yeah.
And interesting, they also receive people from other denominations, like a Methodist Church and the others. So they also, if they have like a wedding, and they have been using it. It's really, it's amazing, and it's because of your prayers, your moral support, and the others, and we thank you very much. Because of that, the churches are still closed. The government is saying soon they will come and visit, and they may be open some churches. In Byumba, because of your prayers and the support, so far we have 25 churches waiting to be visited, inspected, and hopefully to be reopened. So we are waiting. One of the criteria or conditions to close the churches were also the qualification of pastors. In Byumba diocese, we have 57 active pastors, and among them, only 25 are qualified. They have a degree, what the government wants.
They have the theological degrees that the government wants.
Yes, thank you. And others, 7 of them, they are approaching the time of retirement, which means they can go in their retirement, which is okay. But the others, 13 of them, they are still young. They don't have a background which can allow them to go to universities, and they have to go somewhere because they are not allowed to lead a parish. We were able to get support to send 10 of those who are not qualified, 10 of them, to send them in a theological way. Now they are going through that education, and we are still waiting. So that's the situation with the closing of the churches. But all in all, we thank God that in the beginning of closing churches, they were saying that people are not allowed even to meet in those cell groups. It was not allowed. But later on, they found out that in those small groups, people were doing other things than church business, because they were doing saving and credit groups where they could discuss how they can have income generating activities. They were also discussing about education and the parenting. They were discussing other social issues which are part of the government program. So later on they said those groups can meet. Now at least today they meet, and as they meet, we try to infiltrate and also to give them some biblical studies and pray for those who are having problems, and even sometimes in a hidden way we can take them Holy Communion. And so far we say, and we agreed with people that yes, they have closed the buildings, but they have not closed our network with our God. They have not closed our hearts, our souls, our spirit. So people are still, although in some areas we have so many people who, since they have closed churches, they have never been to a church. So they are still having that problem, and that's how we should. So we are waiting. Even last week, before I came here, we had a meeting with the representative of the government, the church representatives, and they told us that they are waiting for us to submit our files for those who have fulfilled, who have finished, to complete what we have required. So, because some of them they have some complications, we are still looking for them, and we hope maybe, for example, in Jumba Diocese, we hope by the end of mid-October we will submit. Okay. For those 25 churches. We think they are ready to be reopened. Thank you. That's what I can say. Yeah. Unless there is any point of clarification.
No, it struck me that in the cell groups, that there is also that integrative, like, spirituality. One of the things that always strikes me in Kabali Parish is they talk about, we're focused on spiritual development, social, emotional development, and economic development.
Yes.
Right? All three. Those are kind of the three pillars of the church.
Yes.
And hearing that that's the kind of things that were happening in cell groups. So like, oh, we actually need these to continue. And hearing that the government recognizes the way all three types of development are happening in Kabali Parish. It's just, that's beautiful. That's a gift, and I'm thankful for that. And I think that's a lesson for us. There's so many lessons that we bring back from Rwanda, but I think that holistic ministry,
thank you,
is one of them that we need to learn from you.
Yes.
So I'm thankful. There's we could talk about those things all night, but one thing we don't often get is to hear your story, right? You were once someone coming to know Jesus. As a kid, you were called into the ministry. I would love to hear you share a little bit of the story of how you came to know Jesus, how you met Jesus.
Thank you. First of all, I was born in a Christian believer family. My father was really he was like what we call catechist. He was doing some activities, assisting the pastors in the church. I was born, the family was Anglican.
So he's a lay leader in the Anglican church.
Yeah, he was there. And he was teaching or organizing us before we go to bed to read the Bible. And after that, we could do some other activities, but he was to make sure that before we go to bed, there is a time as a family to share something from the Bible. So that was not enough for me because I have, in my family, we are 11, and many of my brothers and sisters, they did not follow that example and the discipline of my father. They just went on their own. But myself, I got this favor from the Lord when I was 4 or 5 years old. I was keeping or watching the calves, these young cows for my father. It was around 4 p.m. and I saw a kind of big picture, and it confused me. And I remember I spent more than 10 minutes, looking at the same direction without even closing my eyes, without even moving. I remember my father came to see how I'm keeping the calves, and he called me and I did not hear him because until he came and he approached me and he slapped me, and I did not, and then he waited and he was afraid that maybe something serious happened to me, I'm dead or. So he waited, and after that period, I just came back the conscience, and he asked, "Where was you? What has been happening?" I said, "I don't know." I was afraid. I was scared. And I could not explain to him what was happening. But what was there, I saw just, I could see, I saw pictures of somebody who was in white cloth and was giving instructions to many people and was telling me to follow. So it was a wrong vision which I could not explain. But after that, so I went home and my father would always watch if I'm normal, and if finally found I'm normal because nothing has happened. But after 3 years, I had that. I met an old lady just somewhere, and I was going to fetch water. In Rwanda, we go down in the valleys. So I was alone. I met an old lady. She stopped me. She said, "Stop." And she touched in my head and she told me many things, which will happen to me all the way to my life. So she told me, you will be a pastor, you will be a bishop, she told everything. And since that, I did not meet that lady again.
Never met her again.
No. So that's also past. And that was, for me, at that age, it was a total, really, confusion for me. It was like, sometimes I could think I'm alive, sometimes I could think I'm not, at my conscience. But finally, I was wondering what will happen, but when the other day when I was keeping those kettles, before I went to school, some of the neighbors, there were children who were older than me. They were going to school, and when we were together, they could teach me to read and to write. We were using, dust down. We were using our fingers, or we were using the banana leaves with some small branches of trees. So I came to read and to write before I went to school. That was strange also because I had some of my elder brothers and sisters who were going to school, but they had difficulties to read and to write. I remember one day my father tried me and says, "Can you read the Bible?" I remember he gave me Luke 15, and I could read. And I had not gone to school. So that was so past. But it always created a confusion. When I read the Bible, during the night, I could feel as I'm being peaceful, I'm being energized. And the following day, I decided to steal the Bible from my father and take it to the banana plantation and read it from there. So that's what, because my father used it to keep, he was the only person who had a Bible in the village, and he was keeping it in his suitcase. He was keeping it very far. So I remember again, there was a time I forgot to bring it back, and when he looked it, he said, "Who had moved my Bible?" I was in trouble until I watched him going out, and I came and put it back there. So that when I read the Bible, most of the time I was reading Psalms, and whenever I read Psalm 23, 30, 35, 68, 78, I was always feeling as it's something real, it's something true. It was really convincing me. But because I was reading those words, I could not know if it's David or whatever, because that was beyond my understanding, my capacity. But I was understanding it as there is a superpower which can be accessible to anybody, and I wanted to access to that superpower. And I struggled. Now, I gave myself a test, a sign to know whether what I've been reading can happen also to me. That time I was in a primary school, ready to do the national exam to shift from primary to secondary school. During that time, it was only very few people who could go to secondary school. And in the whole, what we call district, only 1 or 2 people among the 1,000 only could go to secondary school. So I said, God, if now what I've been going through are true and real, I want now myself to be part of these 2 people in the whole 1,000. And I said, I will be reading the Bible every day, every morning, and also studying hard. So I did it, and I was doing it in my private way. No one could know what I was doing. That was the only test to God. I was like expecting, if I don't pass that exam, then God doesn't exist. So I continued. Like 2 months before we start for the exam, I got seriously sick. And it was most likely that it was the sickness was from the witchcraft, from the environment. So I said, yes, even if I'm sick now this way, and even parents and the others had already forgotten that, but I said, God, I want to be healed, this sickness, and I want to pass the exam still. So I kept on reading the Bible. Surprisingly, the date to sit for the exam, in the morning I woke up and I felt I have energy, and I felt my mind, my conscience is normal, is ready to do the exam. I did the exam. And when the results came out, we were only the 2, and I was among the 2. Then I said, this is now the confirmation that, and everybody could not understand. My father was just a normal farmer. We had a few cows and a banana plantation, and in our setting, having a land to cultivate beans and sorghum was enough. So he was a normal person, nothing. So everybody, even the mayor, they came to see that child who really could pass the exam. So for me, when I heard that, I could not laugh. I could not, because it was like I'm no longer myself. I'm somebody. I'm not functioning in the same way. So that was the first signs, and. Then I went to secondary school, and I wanted before to do medical school, but they gave me teaching, the teaching. I did it. Because I had always, each year all of a sudden I could have the other dreams, the dreams I had. They were also coming very often, showing me the same pictures. And I decided...
You were having the same dreams very often?
Yes.
Like when you were sleeping?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
And I decided, I had in me a voice telling me that I should be a pastor, so that I can really... because when I joined secondary school, immediately I formed a prayer group in the secondary school, and I joined the choir, so which helped me always to be in the... So I wanted to do, after secondary school, I wanted to do theological education. And I started applying when I was in secondary 3. So whenever I wrote, I don't know what was happening, but no reply, no nothing. 6 years finished, and I went to, after I finished, I became a teacher for 5 years in a primary school. And I was always thinking to become a pastor, but after 5 years, I thought maybe it's not, God doesn't want to accept this, because the bishop there could not answer, the pastor, no one was even getting interested in me. So, okay, I said, now I have to join another faculty for university. When I had already registered to start university, I had a dream saying that I will not go for that faculty, and my career is still waiting for me. The whole night I had that same dream. I was struggling, and in the morning I was exhausted, and I said, what can I do? All in all, I was reading the Bible and I was taking time to pray myself. That was encouraging me and pushing me really to remain the same track. So, after having that dream, I remember it was Wednesday around 10. I was at school. That was the pause of the pupils, and 3 people came, and they came at the school where I was teaching. They came looking for me. They say, we want to see a teacher called Emmanuel. So they came. They were from the parish, and the parish was far from where I was teaching. So they met me. They said, we were told to come to ask you to go to study theology. I said, no, I've been applying for many years. No one was interested in me, and now I have decided to do something else. They tried to persuade me. I resisted until they went, and the following day they came back. Okay? When they came back, they say, can you write a letter to the bishop to show that you wanted to do that? Okay, I wrote a letter. I remember I wrote a letter, put it in an envelope, and I said, Bishop so-and-so was Ergwaje, someone knows him.
Mm-hmm.
And these people, when they took the letter to the senior pastor, who was an archdeacon in an Anglican setting in Rwanda, he says, no, this letter I cannot take it, because he wrote bishop. He did not start by Excellency Bishop. So.
Oh, you didn't start it with Your Excellence,
yes,
the bishop.
Yes,
so
he
said it wouldn't work.
Yeah, he says, that I cannot take it. Okay, I said, now this is another sign that maybe there is no. And I said, when they had to bring the letter, because they said you have to put. They said, okay, now I don't have to put it. Leave it and go.
So you just said, go ahead and take
What they did, themselves, they removed the letter inside, and they bought themselves an envelope, and they put what he wanted, and they
so
took
they
it.
fixed it for you.
Yes. So that was in March. May, it was a time to sit for the test, entrance exam to the theological education. That time also, it was very seriously. I had a problem of eyes. I could not see. So I was called and told to go and sit for the exam. I said, what can I do? That was 2 days before. Again, I said, God, I can't do anything. I can't see, so I'm sorry. I said, if it's your will, then I waited the other time. The same day of exam, when I woke up, I found my eyes are normal, so I could see. Then I went. I remember I went. I was late because I had to catch the public transport, and before I take public transport. I had to walk like 2 hours to reach where you can catch public transport. So I reached the exam center at 11, while others had started at 9.
So you were 2 hours late
Yes.
for the exam.
Yeah, and I had to finish, I think, at 1.
Oh.
So when I reached there, there were other issues. They said, "Why are you late? Where is the letter of your bishop?" I had not any. So I tried. Then they said, "Okay, now since you are late, come, you sit. We know you will fail. So because you are late, and if time, the timeline is over, then you will no excuse." Okay, I said, okay. I sat, and I just did it very quickly. When they said stop, I stopped with the others. And surprisingly, on 4th of July, I got a letter saying that I passed the exam. I should get ready to go for that theological education. So I said, God, thank you. You are with me. And then I went there. That was in the south part of the country. So I did it the first year. The second year, the genocide came. When the genocide came, it was in the holidays, but because of this God's favor, I had not gone into the holidays, because there was somebody from US who was doing his PhD in sociology. He came for internship and writing, and he was accommodated by our college. When he wanted one of the students, to help him for collecting information in the rural around, in the village, in the environment there. So the school gave him my name. So I had that privilege to help that guy to collect information for his PhD research. So I was there. The day that was the last weekend before we open. We come for the second term. It's the day that the aircraft of the then president, was shot.
So this is 1994.
94.
And so the aircraft of the president was shot down in Kigali, right near the airport,
Yes.
which was the beginning of the
genocide.
troubles.
Yes.
Yeah.
So in early morning they said everybody should stay where he is. No one is allowed to move. So I stayed in south. So now the genocide started everywhere, but where he was, it did not start immediately until that April finished, May finished, and then June, that when the genocide reached that southern parts of the country. So we had to run away, and because the only way, safe way, was to go in Congo, and we went, and the militias who are killing people they know that that's where people are going, and they were, had a lot of barriers to wait to stop people. So we were with many people, and they stopped us, and in that, it's a big forest called the Nyungwe, and in the middle of it, there was a very bad barrier where they were killing a lot of people. So we were arrested, and they asked us to show our IDs, and so they killed people who were together. When they reached at me, they said, it's your turn. I said, it's okay. They said, why are you not afraid? I said, I should not be afraid because I did not take a decision to come on earth, and if God wants, you will kill me. They said, why are you saying God? I said, It's because God is the creator and is the provider and the protector. They said, why are you terrorizing us? I said, I'm not terrorizing you. It's my belief. They said, no. They took me, they showed me a very big pit hole, and they had killed many people. Some were chopped, and even some were still screaming, and their bodies were still moving, some part of them. So they showed me, they said, can you see this? I said, I see them. Are you not afraid? I said, no. They said, who are you and what are you? I said, just I'm a human being like you. They said, why not? I said, just, they said, what do you do? I said, I'm a student they said, in what? In a theology. They said, do you want to become a pastor? I said, if God wants. They said, you are not going to be that one. I said, it's okay. If God allows you, just kill me. One looked at me, the one who was leading others, he looked at me, they had their machete was, full of blood, and there were like 6 or 7. So they looked at me, they talked and they said, one says, no, you know what? I'm not killing this guy. And he asked, does anyone of you have courage to kill him? Everybody was pulling himself behind. Then I waited for a moment. They said, you know what? Go, you will be killed by other people. Then I left them. When I reached somewhere there, the one followed and says, even now I don't understand who are you? I said, no, I'm just a normal. And he told me, can you tell me your secret, which makes you not fear and the whole country? Said, just I trust and believe in God, and it's only that one. So I went in that forest. I was alone, and it's a jungle. It's very bad. The night came when I was just in the middle of that jungle. That was my first time passing that way. I wondered what I'm going to do. So I could not continue because I was in the road. I said I could not continue. So I decided to go alongside the road, but there was these big trees. I decided, because I was tired, I said, if I sleep down, maybe snakes or other animals can come and finish me. I decided to go up in a tree, in the brush of trees. So I climbed up, and there was a big tree which has big branches. I went there. I thought if I'm up and if I sleep, I may fall down. Then so I decided to take my belt, and I tied myself with a branch of a tree so that if I fell, this belt can hold me. And it happened. So I slept, and around 4 a.m., I found myself was bending like this. The belt has saved me. And then the next morning I went, and I reached somewhere. I used to go, I could not use the straight road. I was just going in a parallel in the forest.
Because the road was being patrolled by folks? So
Yes.
you had to stay off the road.
So I not lose the direction. I was just going in the forest, but alongside. And so I reached where there was a camp controlled by French soldiers. I stayed there. After a few days, we left towards Congo. When I went to Congo, just the first night I reached there, the voice of the Spirit of the Lord told me not to stay there. And I resisted because I knew what I have left behind in Rwanda, and I could see others were in peace because they were in Congo. They were receiving food and protection, and they were so. The second day, the same voice told me, "Go back." So I resisted, but finally during the night, the voice told me, "I will go. Willing it or not, I will go. I will receive a sign which will tell me to go." So I had a very serious diarrhea, and in a way that the whole body was was like burning. And when I prayed, the voice said to me, "You will get better if you cross the border back to Rwanda." So
you're saying the voice of the Lord is what you interpreted as saying, "Go back to Rwanda and you'll feel better."
Yeah. So I waited the night to come because during the day it was not easy. But I waited. During the evening I went. When I crossed the border, the problem stopped. So I walked more than, I think that was 41 days walking, and I reached my home area. When I reached there, that's when I found there was a message of people a message which passed through a radio station asking if somebody could see me. So that's a long story, and when they told that, I said, "What can I do?" It was still chaotic, there was still militias and the fightings and the killings, because that was in September 94. I took 3 days prayed, fasting. After 3 days, the voice told me to go in Kigali, and I went there. I found information. It's a long story. I'm skipping some to save time. And then the information was asking me to go in Kenya, and yet I had no passport, no ticket, no information where to pass and how to do. But again, I said I have to ask the Lord. I took again 3 days. After 3 days, the voice told me to go in the immigration and just ask a passport. So I went there. There were many people who were really waiting for their passport, and they were rejected. But when I reached there, immediately they received me. They gave me a passport in a miraculous way. I didn't know. Even people could not understand. There were many people. So I got it, and after I got it, there I met someone who was traveling to Uganda. And when we talked a bit, and he says, "Next week I will go to Uganda." I said, "Oh, I want you also to go to Kenya." He said, "Oh, come we go together. And I have a friend in Uganda. I will leave you to him, and he will help you to reach Kenya." So that was made very quickly. I went in Kenya, Uganda, and then they organized the things. I went in Kenya. When I reached Kenya, it was another story because I could not speak English. I could not speak Swahili. That's in Kenya. And I met the lecturers and the then bishop of the diocese. So when they saw me, they said, "Oh, you arrived. Let's negotiate the theological college so that you can continue." Okay. They negotiated very quickly. They accepted. And then they asked me to go to continue studies. The problem was I could not speak English and even read and understand any single word. And yet I had it straight away to start studies. So I remember the first 2 weeks I could not understand anything. I could not write anything. And I decided to buy books from primary school in Kenya and to teach myself English. That's how I started reading by myself. And then finally, during the holidays, there was a friend, classmate, who was from Kenya. I asked him to go together in his home so that I can practice my English. at least to have an open door to talk. So he accepted. We went for 2 weeks. Then we came back. There was, when we came back, that was after Easter, there was an American lecturer who was teaching Greek. It was an old couple. The husband was teaching, the wife was just helping the husband only at home. So when this lady learned about my case, she offered 1 hour a week to come and help me, just at least to have some basic information of English. So she did it for, I think, for 3 months, meeting 1 hour. She just helped me to read and some few tenses and whatever.
Helping with the English.
Yes,
which is a very easy language.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You will know. So finally, I managed to finish that theological, because another thing is that they said, the college says, they said I can start from the first year, and then my lecturer says, no, he was in the second year, he cannot miss the 2 years. They said, he doesn't know English, how can he go? They said, but he has all other programs. They said, now we are going to give a test. Okay? They said, the lecturers in Rwanda says, don't give the test of English, but give a test of something else. They said, okay, Hebrew and Greek. Okay, Hebrew and Greek is like mathematics, and so they gave me the test of Hebrew and Greek, and I did it very well. I got 71 and 79. They said, okay, now he can go and struggle with English. Now we accept him. So they accepted me to proceed in second year. So I skipped the first year and I continued. So 1 year and a half, I graduated from Kenya. That time I had got a scholarship to go to continue in South Africa, but we were 4 of us who got that scholarship. By the time when we were getting ready, a voice came when I was sleeping, says, "You are not going." And I said, "No, you are a liar. How can this happen? With my colleagues, my classmates, they are going and they got a scholarship, I got everything and registration." The voice said, "You are not going." After 2 days, the then bishop came, and he came in the college because I was still in the college. And then he came and says, "I want to talk to you." I said, "Okay." He was the bishop, of course. And we had like 2 hours talking. He said, "You know what? I've come to tell you that you should come in Rwanda." That was 1996.
So 2 years.
Yeah.
After you had left.
Yeah. So I said, 96 in Rwanda it was still insecure, and many people were still in the refugee camps in Tanzania, in Congo, in Burundi. So I wondered and I remembered what the voice, the Spirit told me. Then I told him, he pushed me, says, I remember it was Thursday, and he told me after 1 week they have already organized the ordination, and I should be ordained just within 1 week. He told me, think about it, and he said, I will go back in Rwanda on Saturday. So Thursday afternoon, Friday, think about it, and Saturday morning you tell me if we were ready, if not. Okay. Immediately the same night, the voice told me, you have to go. I did not wait till Saturday. The Friday morning, I told him, I'm ready. So I went. I was ordained. And, I've been doing different ministries. Especially, I had in my mind, I had a passion. One, to help the people who were traumatized because of the genocide. There were many. And there were also poor people. There were also people like in Byumba, that's where they all started.
Right. So Byumba is in the northern part of the country,
Yes.
and that's where the worst started.
Yeah, that's where they all started. And all the houses were destroyed. All of the cattle, the cows, and whatever were taken away. So I had that passion to help those people. So I went there with that passion. I was offering myself to attend people individually, just doing counseling one by one, which was not easy because everybody wanted to come to see me, and yet I was also having the same problem because I saw what happened. I was a victim. Some of my relatives had met with those. So, but we continued doing that. I was appointed to be among the coordinating team at the province level as a religious person to help people who are coming back from refugee zones. And we took that for quite a time. So I changed the responsibilities from A to B, different ways, going up, because within a short period I was ordained full priest, and I was nominated to coordinate the development office and to be a diocesan secretary. It was going very quickly and doing all those. Now, I had still the idea to go to continue my studies, and it went all away, where in 2000, many times I got a lot of opportunities to go to study, but whenever it was the right time, God says, no, I still want you to be here. I waited and I obeyed. Until now, 2010, now that was now finished because 2010 January, I got opportunity now to go to prepare a master's program in the Netherlands. I spent there 3 months, and that was a preparatory research to be allowed in it. So I spent there 3 months, January until March. I came back. June, I received a letter confirming that scholarship and other things are arranged. I have to go there in September. The bishop accepted and gave me the whole permission and everything. So I was ready to go now. I thought now it's the time. When it approached the time to go, that was September. August, I went. Now, because this was was a serious turning point for me to go away for a year, to live with the family, to live with the ministry. So there is a prayer mountain in Uganda where many people think it's a bit special. So I went there hoping to spend 3 days there. So I went there, we were 3 of us. The same evening we reached there. Before we were tired, and when I fell asleep a bit, the dream came. I could see a figure in white clothes, very shining, standing in front of me saying, "Go back." I did not believe. I woke up and then we prayed with the three fellows. When it reached 4 a.m., somebody who did not know me came in a bush where we were sleeping. We were sleeping, and then he was looking with a lamp torch and
with a flashlight.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you were sleeping in the bushes on
Yes.
this mountain. You'd had this dream.
Yes.
Okay.
So the man came and he says, no. Then he touched me. Says, "Wake up, wake up." I said, "Who are you?" Said, "I don't know you. You don't know me, but I have your message." Said, "What message?" Said, "God told me, you, Jonas, you want to escape to somewhere, but you are divided and demanded to go back. You are not going where you want to go." I said, "You are crazy. I have a passport, I have a visa, I have a scholarship, I have a registration number of the university. What do you mean?" He said, "God says you are not going anywhere." So he says, "That was mine. You don't need to know me. I'm going." That was crazy. Then he left, and then again I fell asleep. 5:30, somebody else came, another person. Then he said the same words. I said, "Now it's serious." Okay. I left. Now I woke up. I told him the fellows who were together, I said, "Do you know what? I'm going, you stay there, I'm going back to Rwanda." Immediately I took taxi moto, or the boda in Uganda, and just I went to catch bus, went back to Rwanda. When I reached back in Rwanda, that's when I found, in the House of Bishops, they had elected Rwaje to become an archbishop.
So they had elected the Bishop of Byumba to become the Archbishop of Rwanda.
Yes, yeah. Who was the Archbishop, the Bishop of Byumba, then he was elected to become an Archbishop. For me, I thought it doesn't concern me. I don't have anything to do with it because I did not think to become a bishop. I did not even dream about it, although I knew something was prophesied before, many years before, but because many things had been going on, and I knew that Gwash still had many years, and okay, I thought it's okay, that's their business. And immediately, because it was a short notice to elect an archbishop, and then Gwash came, the then bishop came and he says to people, they say, "Now, I'm surprised I was elected. I did not plan this and expect this. Now, please pray for the next bishop of Byumba Diocese. And I don't want any campaign. I don't want anything. Just pray." Okay. Now, some people, even from other dioceses, from somewhere, they started, robbing and bringing some other people. And by the time I wanted to leave, some people went to tell that bishop who became archbishop who was elected. They said, "We want Emmanuel." He told them he's going to study, he's not ready. They said, "No, we don't want somebody from somewhere else, we want him." He says, "No, he's going." Okay, they came to consult me. I told them, "Sorry guys, I'm not ready, I've already gone, I showed everything." Now, because I knew, all those things, because I said no to everybody, they went to tell, Gwaji was a bit wise. He told me, "Now, don't go now to the Netherlands. Wait, you will go after the elections." Because they had already sensed what is going on.
So the bishop said, don't go to Netherlands until after the elections.
Yes.
That was smart.
Yeah. So then we waited. Time came for elections. I just was there like an observer. I was there like and somebody who is not concerned. And surprisingly, when they started reading the votes, so I came first. The voters, the people who voted, they were 123, and 119 voted me. And we were 4, so that was a shock for me, and I could not do anything else. Everything, changed, and I remembered all those prophecies, Jonas, don't go, don't do this. So that's how I became a bishop. And still, I'm still, it's 15 years, and maybe I can stop there. But what I've seen in all this, I've seen, let me summarize what I've seen through all those from my childhood until today. One, I got a time for confusion and conviction. That was always, there was things which were convincing me, but there were other things which challenged me. It's one side. Then the other side. When I did a second in the university, I had now I wanted to compare now the sciences and the intellectual with what I was going through. I found it cannot go together because I found there is the reality, the real things and the unreal things. There are things seen and unseen. But again, there are things you see in the present that show you the truth, and there are things that you see for the future, which gives you hope that you are not alone. And I've seen again challenges becoming opportunities. Because whenever I met the challenges, I would also see opportunities in those challenges. I also seen the disappointment from human beings and from the world, which has been always for me appointment of God for something else. So I would encourage each one of you that in this life, there are things seen and unseen.
Seen and unseen?
Yes. And there are things present and future. But what we are required is just something very, very important, which is faith. Faith comes in obeying and acting without seeing, without negotiation, without using your human reasons, your human intellect. Because if you do that, that's where you reconcile your nature, because you did not pray at all to come on earth, and you did not even pray at all before you reason, before you are conscious. You did not know where you are. I read a book which says that your conception, your birth, your babyhood, you don't pray, you don't know what it is. They are a favor, they are a capacity, they are the supernatural angels and the guidance which is there for you. and it holds even your end. So the role of prayer in your existence is the same throughout your end. That's where now faith comes, that's where now belief comes, that's where now hope comes, and for you act and you obey. And you turn disappointment of man into appointment of God, and you turn challenges into opportunities. Thank you.
We need to be done in this space tonight, just based on time. But the two things I want to say are praise God for the ways he has met you and preserved you. And thank you so much for sharing that story with us. I know there must be parts of that story that are hard to tell, but the joy you carry with you in the midst of all you have been through is an absolute gift for us to receive. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Would you bless us as we go?
Almighty God, we are here because you wanted us to be here. We have come on earth because of your mission. We have been going through different trials and difficulties, and you have been with us. We thank you for such opportunities, occasions, to meet and share about you and your wonders and about your kingdom. Lord, I thank you for bringing these people, and thank you for the testimonies, the sharing they have been bringing out here, and bless each one of them. As we journey in this world, which has valleys and mountains, Lord, keep us on the track. Keep us faithful. Give us hope. Give us capacity. Give us the inspiration from the Holy Spirit, so that we know that where there are challenges, you have planned the opportunities. Where we have disappointment, there is your appointment for our next journey, our next step to your glory and to the fullness and to the satisfaction. Thank you, Lord. May your blessing, Almighty God, Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit be with your people now and forevermore. Amen. Thank you.
Amen. Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Feel free to stay and ask questions. Thanks for staying just a few minutes longer here. If you are interested in going on pilgrimage next year, send me an email as soon as you can. And also, if please sign up for this tonight so that we can give you some follow-up information on Bishop Emmanuel as well, if you haven't signed up, if you haven't registered for Story Night.
Reese is very sick.